Well, when I'm right, I'm really right. Let's get to it, my friends. Hey guys, Commander Exorcist here. Welcome aboard the Starship Nightwish. It is time, once again, for Talk Code Tuesday. This is my weekly Elite Dangerous show where I pick a Galnet article and read it, talk about it, primarily from a lore perspective, but I will break the fourth wall if necessary. I'm not sure how necessary it's going to be this week because it's a tough one we're going to be going through. And I apologize in advance because my video from last week, I predicted that we'd be seeing a major conflict, and just 1 year shy of humanity uniting together to destroy the invading Thargoid fleet. We destroyed Kosiho just a couple of weeks from now in orbit around Earth. Here we are fighting each other again. It's another war, and yeah, it's just another war again over, and now it's over the trees in 87621, and we're going to talk a little bit about why that. I'm going to be honest, straight out the gate, I'm going to approach this as best I can, talk about it from the lore perspective as I promised you guys, but personally, I do not care about this. This is boring to me. Like, it's another conflict that is meaningless, and people can go out and get their weapons and stuff and get their rewards from the CG. I have some issues with how the CG is being done, but overall, I could care less about this whole thing at this point. If you ask my opinion, the only tree war, quote unquote, that I really care about in history was when the Ints destroyed the occupying army at Isengard. Okay, that's cool. Like, that was important. All right, but the rest of this, no. I mean, like, if Sourman came back and was like leading the October Consortium or something, that'd be kind of cool. Or maybe Salvation's evil twin. I don't know, but we don't have that. We have the bubble blazing, the blazing bubble, and we're going to talk about that. So exobiological data delivered to Exogene Sciences in HIP 87621 have confirmed that a new species of flora with unique properties has been discovered on several bodies. Yes, the trees that we scanned over and over again. By the way, if you felt this CG was painful, it was. This was a painful CG to take part in. And the reason is because the top commander scanned these flowers 10,000 times. Props for them for like getting to 10,000 and just stopping and keeping it as an even number. But 10,000 is wild. It really is. And that's what made it painful for the rest of us. So yeah, 10,000, pretty good. Allied, Imperial, Federal, and Independent powers have now deployed fleets to secure control of the enclaves surrounding HIP 87621 following the discovery of Radicoida Unica, with reports of the rival powers clashing in open combat across the region. We knew this was coming. The fleets deployed well before the permit lock went down. We knew what was coming. It was blatantly obvious. Anybody with any 2-year-old can look at it and go, "Oh yeah, these guys are going to fight." What are they going to fight over, though? Well, yeah, we're just fighting over the trees at this point. And one of the issues, and this paragraph here kind of outlines one of the issues that I have, sort of a fourth wall break, is that you have all of you have these minor powers that people are pledged to through power play, and all the minor powers have kind of assembled, but then the open conflict itself is a superpower conflict. It's not a minor power conflict. Yes, the minor powers are wrapped up in it, but it's a superpower conflict, and it just feels weird. It just doesn't seem like it's really following its own lore at this point. It's like, oh, we want you to pledge to whatever minor faction that you're part of or that you're interested in. By the way, your minor faction really it gets absorbed into the grander control of your superpower. Now, lore-wise, yes, that probably would make sense. I don't think that the Empire would be willing to allow a smaller faction within itself to control it. I mean, it's probably going to be Ashlyn Duvall that takes over because she's got a billion simps out there. But in the grand scheme of things, it probably makes sense. It's just game-wise, it's a little weird, and it's probably a little frustrating for some folks that are, we're probably hoping to be able to have a chance at controlling a region for their minor power, and then here you go, and it's going to be one of the major players that control things, probably the Empire. Speculation has ignited over why this flora, which is rumored to exhibit unique biochemical properties during analysis, has inspired such aggressive action by all powers. Political analysts have noted that this is the most significant mobilization since the Second Thargoid War. Hey, I just said that. It's like people got bored and their bloodlust just came back, and they're like, hey, there's no aliens to fight, so let's just fight each other. And there is some kind of biochemical property with the Radicoida. We just don't know yet, or at least we in the general public don't know what's going on. Obviously, I'm sure that the superpowers have some kind of intelligence. I'm not talking about their mental intelligence. I'm talking about their knowledge. They may have some kind of intel that it makes it worth fighting each other for. And, it's cool. There's trees all over the galaxy. There's plants all over the galaxy in different colors and shapes and sizes. For these to be unique to the point where people are willing to die for it, it's got to be good. At least I hope. Says a spokesman for Denton Petraeus stated Imperial interests cannot allow rivals to dictate the future of HIP 87621. Order must be maintained. Only Imperial governance has the authority to do so. My beloved Empire stepping up to take control as they do, because we don't want the Feds or the Allies or any of those other people involved. They don't know what they're doing. They don't have the resources or the majesty of the Empire. So, yeah, it's I love my beloved Empire, but they probably started this for this kind of crap, like the whole majesty thing. Only the Empire can do it the correct way, and they probably started this. But I do like how the Empire portrays it. Like, we will bring order to the chaos, and we will maintain that order, through draconian methods of subversion and subjugation and stuff like that. So, it says, by contrast, Nakato Kane staff members said, members of the Alliance will not sit idly by while bullies seek to snatch a legally claimed system by force. We will defend equal access and resist attempts at domination. Now, I don't think that any of the superpowers are looking to limit access as far as access to the system. They are looking to control whatever data is retrieved from the system. So, you can come scan some trees, or you can visit and take pictures and whatever, but the biochemical part of it is really what they're after. I don't look for the Empire to try to reestablish a permanent lock on this system. Federal and assorted independent powers have also issued adversarial statements, respectively framing their involvement as necessary to protect their interests and preserve freedom from superpower control. Now, this is where it gets good, because you do have these minor independent factions and these minor powers that people have pledged to, that have the ability to undermine operations for, say, the Empire or the Federation and whatever. And I'm not taking part in this community goal at all. I have no interest in it. I scan the flowers and I'm done. So I'll be going back to doing on-foot ground combat and other things that I enjoy. This just doesn't interest me. But, if you're pledged to a power and you have the opportunity to undermine some of the bigger ones, this could be fun for you. And I think that's part of it. This is part of trying to explain why, it's not just a minor power free-for-all. It is being controlled by the superpowers. Says military analysts have suggested they expect this military campaign to last months, with the goal to occupy the 49 system enclaves surrounding HIP 87621, securing exclusive control over Radicoida Unica as the primary objective. Whichever power succeeds will likely be the first to benefit from the applications of this new discovery. I haven't looked at the actual community goal guidelines in the mission board, but I have heard, I don't think there's an end date for it. Like, it just keeps going. And I may be wrong about that, but I don't remember there being an end date. So, and there are rewards for it, like anything else. But it's basically an open war. It's a free-for-all. So instead of having the Thargoids move all over the galaxy like we did before, all over the bubble, it's just, hey, here's a CG that lasts until you die. So, I mean, that's just kind of what it is. And yeah, I mean, you guys go for it if that's your thing. Each power has issued a call to arms to their pledged pilots, and 2-week initiatives have begun to open their respective campaigns. Okay, so it is 2 weeks. So it's probably going to be like, hey, 2 weeks to do this, and then we'll step. It'll step into this, this phase. Maybe this is phase 1. Then you'll have 2 weeks, phase 2, and 3 and 4, and whatever. And, something like that actually could work, though, because if you have, say, like, let's say that the Empire starts to get a leg up on everybody else, and then all of a sudden you can look at it and go, oh, crap, we didn't do very well this last 2 weeks, so you can go in and reinforce, say, whatever allied or federal position that you have as far as the conflict. So... yeah. But when Radicoida Unica was discovered, we knew it was going to be a war of some kind. I just wish that we knew what we were fighting for. Because at this point, one of the biggest complaints I've heard, and I agree, I lodged the same complaint, what the hell are we fighting for? Like, we're fighting for a tree. We don't know what it does. It's just there, and somebody, somewhere, somehow, who works for somebody is telling us it's important. Why is it important? What does it do? If I'm going to go out there, I'm going to fire a weapon at somebody, I want to know what it is I'm firing that weapon for. Oh, well, they're threatening to take our control of the system away. So what? Like 3 weeks ago, you didn't even know this stuff existed. You're telling me that we were fine until 3 weeks ago, and now all of a sudden this is like the grand thing that's going to decide the fate of the galaxy? I don't buy it. That's garbage. That's garbage. There's something more to it. And it's like I was saying before, it's almost like somebody is doing this on purpose to say, hey, hey, don't you know it's important? They want the superpowers to fight. They want us to fight because they want us weak. It's been a year since the Thargoids were effectively defeated, but they're not destroyed. They're still out there. There's still elements in the galaxy where you can be attacked and destroyed by Thargoids. There are still people in holding who were kidnapped and kept aboard the Titans. There's still danger out there. And for us to be turning on each other over a damned flower makes no sense whatsoever to me. And it really doesn't. Like, lore-wise and just me personally, it's like, I don't get it. I really don't understand it. I think maybe the conflict kicked off a little too early because we don't know. I know that the October Consortium has basically sequestered all of their research, so they've said, hey, thanks for your contribution. By the way, we're not letting you know the results of it. Okay, that's fair. We knew that was coming, but there probably could have been a little more build-up to it instead of, hey, we're all just kind of all-out war over a flower, tree, whatever you want to call it, but we don't know what we're fighting for. What are we fighting for? Are we fighting for control of the system? Because everybody has their own kind of perspective on it. The Empire is saying they want to control and keep the system in order. And then you've got the Alliance and saying that they want to keep it open for everybody. So, it's like it's an ideology war at this point. It's really not about the Radicoida Unica. It's about imposing whatever superpower ideology on the region. Oh, by the way, there's trees that are unique and may have some kind of pharmaceutical properties that we don't know about. Like I said, it's all vague and it's all just cryptic. It might do something for some people somewhere, somehow, if we let this person do this thing, sort of, kind of, maybe. Like I said, Ensign Isengard, people. That's the tree war you need to be following. All right. Hey, guys, if you enjoy the content that I create on this channel, then please be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, make sure notifications are turned on so that you don't miss any of my Elite Dangerous content. I do weekly videos, Let's Plays, and this. I'm trying to push to 8K. We're doing really well. Thank you guys for your support. But But you also can support by becoming one of the disciples, a Patreon member. Go to commanderexorcist.tv/support. I do a monthly vlog called the Exorcast, and you also get early access to a lot of different videos, especially tutorials and special stuff that's coming out, like my Caspian Explorer video that came out yesterday. My Patreon members got 24-hour early access to that before anybody else, and I would love to have you aboard. And that's going to be it, everybody. It's a tough one. It's some of you guys out there may be totally into this. Go for it. 100% behind you. That's the beauty of Elite Dangerous, is that it appeals to a mass of folks. If you want to be an explorer, you can ignore the war. If you want to be a warrior, you can ignore the explorers. You just whatever you want to do. If you want to be a pirate, you want to be a mercenary, it's all out there. And today we're getting the update with the Caspian. Today we're getting the update with improved on-foot combat. And I am going to be on the ground blowing up some people in on-foot CZs. That's what I do. That's what I love to do. And it's time to get out there and do something a little different. I'm tired of HIP 87621, but I'll continue to cover it here. Hey, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with me for today's episode. Until next time, I'm Commander Exorcist. Take care, fly safe, and I'll see you out there.